The Bloemfontein Zoo that's been closed for 3 years won't be reopening this December as planned. During an inspection of the premises, the SPCA had found the animals in a bad state. Some had even starved to death. This sparked an outcry which led to the zoo's closure. eNCA Siphamandla Goge has the inside track.
This is what's left of what was the Free State's pride and joy for years. The collapse of Bloemfontein Zoo led to jobs and revenue losses for the Mangaung Metro. Not only that, those passionate about wildlife have been deprived of the opportunity to enjoy the country's fauna. Locals say they've long accepted the reality of an uncertain future for the zoo. But they are worried about what they call the looting of its animals.
We are in support of the vision of the mayor to open the zoo by the end of this year. But that will not be possible for simple reason. There are animals that have been taken to the zoo by officials of provincial government of Department of Environmental Affairs who are supposed to account as to where those animals are. Some of these animals and some of these species are of unique status in Africa. They have now been possessed and taken by individuals who have actually taken them for their own private use. Now we are saying there are laws to be complied with to reopen the zoo. And we need to reopen the zoo as a matter of agency.
All that's left is bad life and the head of 9 buffaloes. Mangaung's mayor says the zoo will not be opening this festive season as planned.
We were very, to be honest, ambitious that by December this zoo should be operating, but looking at realities on the ground, that may not be realized, subject to how quick the solutions may be to the regulations to be followed. There's a budget to be put in place. There is revamping of the precinct in itself. And there is also transportation of animals that must come there once everything has been set and done. So we are hard at work.
Professor Hendrik de Waal from the University of the Free State worked with the zoo for years before it shut its doors. He says it's beyond shocking and frustrating what led to its closure.
There are institutions available that would like to participate in the recovery and the reinstitution of the Bloemfontein Zoo. They just need to know, allow us to do it.
Provincial authorities say the revival of the Bloemfontein Zoo would boost the local economy.
The decision is that we are reviving the zoo and all other downstream economies around it, or those that must precede the zoo, any other thing that has got. So the focus really is that revive and build Mangaung as an economic hub of the Free State, strengthen that capacity and ensure that it even goes beyond the province. Even when we're engaging around issues of the energy crisis, we said Mangaung is very strategic. So yes, we are on the right track. We got the reports, me and the mayor. We are happy that the challenges that were there are not insurmountable. It is challenges that can be resolved.
But some opposition parties in the metro aren't convinced that there is political will to sort out the mess.
The zoo was closed under a false pretext that it was going to be opened elsewhere in Bloemfontein. And there were also some suggestions that it should be taken to on top of the Naval Hill. But neither of the two suggestions were taken into consideration. We only learned later on when the animals started disappearing in the zoo that there is something here that is happening. There is a looting of animals by some senior officials and with the help of politicians to take them out of the municipality. And there is also an allegation that some of those animals are at one of the areas which is a game reserve within around Mangaung.
So what happened to all the animals?
Others were taken to other zoos, including the sister zoo that we have got a relationship with, and that is helping us to get our zoo into active again, Johannesburg Zoo. And we've got nature reserves where these animals are. Fortunately, we have seen them alive, including some of those that were taken at Naval Hill, Bloemfontein. We've got about 3 of those nature reserves, and we've got more animals, and they've multiplied, I must indicate. So we do have animals, and they were not eaten. No, they are still alive. There are those that are still at the zoo, like buffalo. We've got 9 buffaloes there. The reason is that for buffaloes to be shifted from one place to the other, there has to be serious discipline in terms of transportation.
As efforts to revive the zoo continue, locals remain deprived of enjoying the beauty of the Big Five and other animals it once housed. Siphamandla Goge, Bloemfontein.